So let's go on to the next one, part 2. Building the marketing funnel. So, like I said, normally when people are setting up their marketing, they throw up a website, they put some business cards together, and they maybe throw an ad. The amount of times I've heard this, they throw an ad in some local advertising, and then they spent like $2,000 because some advertising rep convinced them they needed to put this ad in, and then at the end of it, nothing happened, and they go, advertising doesn't work. That's normally what that's happened to a lot of people that I know. So what that is, that's advertising, that's not marketing. So I really want to define marketing is understanding that it takes time to build a relationship with people before they come and meet you. And the way things work now is someone buying sunglasses, they'll come in and buy the sunglasses, they know more about that pair of sunglasses than the guy selling it. Because they've done all the research, they've thoroughly looked at what they're offering. And this is how people, this is the age we're in information age, so they do research before they come to you. So how do you leverage that? How do you use information, use a marketing process online to build a marketing funnel? Now I'm going to define what a marketing funnel is, because it's like Jordan keeps on using the term marketing funnel. What is a marketing funnel? A marketing funnel is basically understanding it takes someone who doesn't, I think it's on, yeah, here we go. A marketing funnel helps take people who don't know you, like you, or trust you, right? So it takes that hotel owner who's got no idea who you are, doesn't know anything about your artwork, he just thought he was going to buy some paintings, doesn't trust you, to someone who knows you, likes you, trust you. So this is the power of the internet. They can know what makes you unique, know what you're offering, see your work, see compelling reasons why it's going to add value to their business before they've ever met you. So that's the power of a marketing funnel. Now the thing about a marketing funnel is it takes time. So you've got, in a marketing funnel, you normally have hot, warm, cold. Hot is they're ready to buy, they've got the budget, they're right at the last stage and you came at the right time and here's the check. Warm is maybe, in your case, 2 months' time, they're just finishing the renovations, but they might be inquiring about it now. And then cold is, they haven't even started the renovations yet. So with those warm ones, a lot of people lose business around warm because they make an inquiry and then no one follows them up. A lot of this comes up to follow-up failure. So not having a process to follow up. So building a marketing funnel is taking into account that people are all at these different levels. Some people are skeptical, some people need more information, some people just need a little bit of a push. The internet can do that for you, basically, through a marketing funnel. So I'm going to explain how this process works. So instead of just saying, I have a customer, it's basically going, someone's at a different phase of the buying process. So this is how I'm going to break it up for you guys. Traffic. So someone on your website. So they're Googling what you do and they're on your website. Prospect. Prospect is, how I like to define a prospect is someone who, have you ever spoken to someone with what you offer and you're talking to them and they're interested but they're like, can you just send me some information? That's the phase most people are in, just send me some information. So internet marketing is leveraging that. So there's a few terms I use, like a shy yes, or one of the marketers use it, they call it an ethical bribe. You're basically saying, yes, I'll give you information, but in return give me your name and email address. So you're building up a mailing list. So a prospect is offering some form of information to get them into your marketing funnel before they actually meet you to talk about what you do or whatever the next phase is. A lead is quite different. A lead is obviously not a sale. They're interested. But not everyone buys straight away. And so a lead is, I'm interested, but I might be interested in a month's time, you know. Or I'm interested, but I want to actually physically see some of your work. So a lead is an interested party, but they're not ready for the sale. A sale is when they're making the transaction. And like I said, that's quite valuable because it's 6 times more expensive to get a new client than to turn over an existing one. So that sale is not a sale, it's not a once-off transaction. It's a lifelong customer potentially, depending on if you have a resale product in your business offering. And that's why the sale is quite important. That's why having lower sales is worth doing, because once they buy, they're a client. So it's not always having the big ticket item, it's breaking that down a little bit because they might buy it and realise they need all of it. So sale, and then a referrer. A referrer is basically, well, yeah, a customer who's happy in what you do, But the most powerful form of marketing is utilising referrals as a way of promoting your business. So a referrer is, yes, someone who's bought and they're telling your friends. That's normally, 80% of my business comes from word of mouth. We hear that all the time. But a referrer is also someone who deals with, let's say, hotel owners who might be able to send an email out on your behalf. So it's finding someone who's dealing with your prospective target market, and that's the most powerful form. A lot of advertising is spent on traffic, and no one really looks at referral as a way of spending money on advertising, but that end is the priority onwards. That's actually the hardest to get new business from, like cold traffic, and that's actually quite easier. So when you're thinking advertising budget, depending on where you're at your business, you want to be spending more money on referrers, than on traffic. What does that look like? We'll talk about that. So I'm going to give you some specifics now of what that looks like. And when I hold this up, I'm going to throw some examples out for people in the room. So generating traffic. So and this is online or offline. Online is the base on and when they come into your marketing funnel. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring people into that funnel. And it all starts off with someone visiting the website, of course. That's the starting point. So traffic generation, so search, we talked about that. So keywords, people typing in specific keywords. But in that first phase, you did that research. One of the things I notice a lot of artists do is postcards with their actual work on it. But having a call to action to drive them to your website to see more, that's another traffic generator. Industry websites, so websites that are out there that contain traffic of your target market and trying to negotiate some kind of traffic driving relationship to your website. Facebook ads. We were talking before, the awesome thing about Facebook ads at the moment is you can go, we were talking to, sorry, what was your name? Jim. His target market was 50 to, let's say, 65-year-old women who like to go to a musical, a production, right? Great thing about Facebook is you can set up a campaign specifically of that. So 50 to 65-year-old women who like, and if you put in who like musicals, it's going to get very small, but you've got a super targeted group to advertise to. Take that out and expand that quite bigger. But the awesome thing about Facebook ads is you can zone in on those niche markets because people put in their age, people put in their interests, and that's how you create an advertising campaign. It's based on that criteria. So that's all bringing people into your marketing funnel, bringing in that traffic. But once they're there, they're going to go in and disappear, right? That's just the way people work. They're not going to buy it in there. So if you have a website and say, buy my $3,000 product, buy it now, you're going to be disappointed because no one's going to do that. So your first objective is to get a prospect. And a prospect is basically someone saying, I want more information, I want to connect with you. Now, I'm still a big fan of email marketing and building a mailing list. But a prospect, in a way, is a like as well on your page. Because they're basically saying, I want to like this and receive updates from you. So a prospect is not a decision, but it's someone who may be warm, but they're not hot. Does that make sense? And you need to have a reason for someone to do that. So you can't just say, everyone's got to subscribe to my newsletter. But that's how compelling is that. So normally what you do as an ethical bribe or a shy yes is you're offering something for them to do that. So for example, I think some of the companies in here do events and they actually facilitate other artists in their studios and so on. So what I do is put something like, by subscribing, you'll hear about the latest events, features of work, just some information, some reason for them to opt in. Accessing particular information. So what's big on the internet is how-to. So if you are doing workshops, accessing how-to information is quite important. So you'll get this document about, or this video about how to do this. That's a very big one. So any kind of accessing information. Then they're going to sit in your prospect database for maybe 6 months before they buy, but that's okay because we're building a marketing funnel. And the idea is just to bring them to a point of a lead. So a lead, like I said, not everyone's going to press that button and buy, let's just take the artist at the moment. They're not going to look at your art and go, wow, this is great, $2,000. Some people will, but some people might look at it and they go, I want to look at that a little bit more. So a lead is basically them filling out a form. So you're trying to, online, it's easier to get people to fill out a form, register an event, register interest, inquiry about something specific. So lead generation is getting them to fill out a form. So one of the thoughts I had for, let's say, an artist is, instead of having a buy now button, I would actually probably go, here's the gallery, here's our work, inquire about this project or inquire about this piece of art. I've done this with a lot of kitchen designers, where we have a lot of their design kitchens on there, and then they can inquire particularly about something. Because they see that they go, I like that, they're probably not ready to pull out their credit card, but they might fill out a form. And I prefer lead generation than online sales, because then you can connect with the person, because they may provide referrals later on. So lead generation is all about forms, and there's terms like lead capture forms, so you're capturing a lead on your website. And then we go into the sales. So like I said, and this is probably talking more digital strategy now, is transactions. So how are you going to make those transactions? You might not sell online, but you still facilitate the payment online. So obviously having things like PayPal in place or eWay. The loss leaders. So with the sale, it's not cheapening your product by having a more cost-effective product. So that's the big thing. People just want to put on their high-price items and go, this is what I do. They don't want to pay that, then I'm not interested in that type of client. Like I said, 6 times more expensive getting your client turnover existing one. You know, some artists I noticed on their websites are selling prints. Now that's not cheapening what you do, but it's a product that people are still buying. That's quite a lot more cost-effective, but people still see that, and then they go, who is that? And then drives them traffic to your website. It's like they're paying for advertising material. So what is a lost leader product that will actually bring them into your buying cycle? And then providing upsell opportunities. And the last one is referral partners. So looking for those strategic alliances who actually promote you. And that one there is the most effective. All of my business, for example, I know I could spend 10 grand on there and get a reasonable bang for buck. But if I find some good referral partners promoting my material out, I did a campaign recently for that, and I had 50 people order my free video series in 24 hours because he pushed that out to his database. So one of the big ones is looking for those referral partners. So that's building a marketing funnel. It's going, well, they come in here, we will do some traffic marketing, they'll be in my database for a while, and then need to build a strategy. And then, I've got different landing pages, and we'll start getting into this in a second. And then gradually transactional, they buy something, and then obviously referral partners. Now, so this is your marketing mix. So it's not just ad, sale, it's marketing process. So in your marketing mix, these are the type of questions you need to ask yourself. So what are some ways of attracting more traffic to my website? But not just traffic, but targeted traffic. Coming up with a list of websites that could drive referrals in. What is a prospect idea? So what is something that people can leave their name and email address for, or will build my mailing list? Because that mailing list is going to be very helpful for you over the next few years. Developing some lead generation ideas. What can I do to make it easy for people to respond to things? And then sales conversion system. Do I have any lost leaders? Could I be reselling to existing clients? Through content marketing, and then also sourcing some referral partners. That's the big one. So if I was to say, what's the most important? Referral partners. So one of the things I thought would be great for artists is, we'll talk about this, landing pages. So if you have a new piece of work that's made available, if you let's say for your situation is you're going out, you're displaying your work, you're partnering with all these different galleries, right? The question I'll be asking myself right now is, how do I build my mailing list for that? Maybe people could register then and there, but it's trying to generate some reason to get their email. I think the biggest thing is that mailing list. One of the lead generation ideas I had was having landing pages where you would release your work, and the landing page would basically be, this is something specific I thought for an artist that I thought worked really well. So you would have an email out that would go out, and this is basically keeping in mind you've been doing this mailing list. So let's say you had 100, and what's your most recent work? Do you can names? Is that right? The paintings that you do and so on.
Yeah.
So what's one of your more recent works?
I don't know. I think just okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah, cool. So let's just call it, so this is what I was thinking, right? You have a landing page, right? And then you'd have a gallery on the landing page, and this is more lead generation, and then you'd have some kind of release, so there would be photos of that work, and then you'd have some key points about it, and then it would have a form saying inquire about this. And then what would happen is that email would be like a product release, a launch release, and it would highlight key messages, so things that are unique about that, and then applications, so talking about, you know, what would it be relevant to, so points that are relevant to various different target markets, and then it'd be a form, and then it'd have like inquire now. So that would be, I thought that would be a really great way of launching. So if you have that mailing list, and then people might go, this is actually quite good, it's not going to be hard for them to fill out a form, and then you have a conversation with them. So that would be like I thought a really good lead capture landing page for an artist.